Dear students, now the second part of A Letter to God. When Lencho's crops were totally destroyed, he was heartbroken and completely upset. And in the hearts of all family members who lived in that solitary and lonely house in the middle of the valley, there was a single hope, help from God. And Lencho's wife consoles her husband by saying that don't be so upset even though this seems like a total loss. She also says that remember no one dies of hunger, that's what they say. They means people say no one dies of hunger, and in this way all the family members had faith in the Almighty and gave one another support and remember the famous saying that no one dies of hunger. And all through the night, Lencho thought only of his one hope. He had the hope and help of God, whose eyes he had been instructed, he had been taught since his childhood that God's eyes see everything, even what is deep in one's conscience, one's inner sense of right and wrong in heart. And Lencho was an ox of a man. Here we also find metaphor. As I have already told you that metaphor compares two things or ideas. Here, Lencho's hard work is compared to the hard work of an ox. He was as hardworking as an ox. That's why this metaphor is used. He was working like an animal in the fields, but still he knew how to write. He was a literate person, and the following Sunday at daybreak, at sunrise, he began to write a letter which he himself would carry to town and place in the mail because he had no faith in his neighbors and other human beings. And he started to write the letter. It was nothing less than a letter to God. This was an informal letter. And when the letter he wrote, if you don't help me, my family and I will go hungry this year. I need 100 pesos in order to sow my field again and to live until the crop comes because the hailstorm. As I have told you that this was an informal letter, and we find in the informal letter emotions and feelings. What he demanded? He demanded 100 pesos. Why? Because Lencho had unwavering, unshakable, and unquestionable faith in God. What is peso? I have already told you that peso is currency of several Latin American countries of South and Central America where Spanish and Portuguese are spoken. So he wanted 100 pesos to sow his field again, to regenerate his crops, and to live until the crop comes. It means when the crop will come for their survival. And he wrote in his letter everything. The hailstorm had left nothing. And as an address, he wrote on the envelope only God because he didn't know the exact address of God, DN Singh Road or Khalifabad. He wrote only God and put the letter inside the envelope and still troubled, still he was disturbed, worried, very anxious, went to town at the post office. He placed a stamp on the letter and dropped it into the mailbox. He already bought the stamp because he was an honest man. One of the employees who was a postman and also helped at the post office affairs When he got the letter, he went to his boss laughing heartily and showed him the letter to God. Never in his career as a postman had he known that address. You know, when you have to stress the sentence, when you have to stress any idea, firstly, negative word is used. In the sentence, never is firstly used, and you will also notice that the verb had is used before the subject he. Never in his career as a postman had he known that address, that type of address. The postmaster was also very surprised. He was a fat, amiable fellow. What do you mean by amiable? Friendly and pleasant person. He also broke out laughing. He also burst into laughter, but almost immediately he turned serious and tapping the letter on his desk commented, "What faith! I wish I had the faith of the man who wrote this letter. If I had the faith of the man like Lencho, then I will never face any problem in my life." So he was deeply impressed by the person who had written the letter. He also thought starting up a correspondence with God. So he decided one thing. In order not to seek the writer's faith in God, the postmaster came up with an idea. One idea struck him that he should not seek the writer's faith in God. He decided to answer the letter, but when he opened it, it was evident, it was clear that to answer the letter, he needed something more than goodwill, more than favorable attitude, more than kind feeling, ink and paper. What he needed? He needed 100 pesos, what the writer had requested. That was the huge amount. 100 pesos was a huge amount, but he stuck to his resolution, but he was very firm in his determination. That's why he decided to gather together 100 pesos, and he asked for money from his employees who were working under him. He himself gave part of his salary, and he also demanded some charity from his friends. Several friends of his were also very happy to give something for an act of charity. What do you mean by charity? The amount, the money for helping the poor. You know that 100 pesos was a huge amount, so it was impossible for him to gather together the 100 pesos, so he was able to send a farmer only a little more than a half. What was the demand? 100 pesos, and he could gather together only a little more. It means only 70 pesos he could collect. So whatever amount he could collect, he put the money in an envelope, and he addressed the letter, he addressed the envelope to Lencho, and with it a letter containing only a single word as a signature. Why he signed the letter as a God? Because he didn't want to shake the writer's faith in God. Now he was very hopeful, he was very eager to know that if God had granted his requested, he was going daily to the post office, but the following Sunday, Lencho came a bit earlier, a little earlier than usual. He was going to the post office daily. He wanted to ask from the post office employees if there was a letter for him. It was the postman himself who handed the letter to him, while the postmaster, experiencing the contentment of a man who has performed a good deed. What do you know by contentment? Satisfaction. And you know that if you do any favorable work, if you help any poor person, you have the satisfaction on your face. And the postmaster was also very happy, and he was also satisfied because he had performed a good work, a good deed. So he was looking on at Lencho from his office. When Lencho got the envelope, he was not surprised. He didn't show the least surprise. He didn't show the slightest surprise on seeing the money. Such was his confidence. He had the full confidence that God must have sent him 100 pesos. But when he counted the money, he became angry. He thought God could not have made a mistake. He must have sent him 100 pesos, nor could he have denied Lencho what he had requested. I have already told you that if you have to emphasize any sentence, if you have to stress any idea, firstly, negative word is used here in the sentence, nor could he have denied what he had requested, nor is used first. So he was sure that the post office employees must have stolen the money. He was very angry, and in his anger, immediately Lencho went up to the counter, went up to the window to ask for paper and ink, and on the public writing table, he started to write with much wrinkling of his brow. There was much pressure on his forehead. That's why there was wrinkling of his brow. This was caused by the effort he had to make to express his ideas. When he finished the letter, he went to the window to buy a stamp. You know that Lencho was an honest person. That's why he bought the stamp and he licked it through his tongue and then affixed, then glued the stamp to the envelope with a blow with the strike of his fist, with the strike of his hand. The moment the letter fell into the mailbox, into the letter box, and when Lencho had gone, the postmaster was very eager to know what this person who had got the money, the postmaster thought the person must have written the thank letter. That's why the postmaster went to open it. But when he opened the letter, the letter said, God of the money that I asked for, only 70 pesos reached me. He was very confirmed that God must have sent him 100 pesos. So he wrote once again, send me the rest, since because I need it very much. I have to sow my field and we have to survive until the crop comes again. But don't send it to me through the mail, through the post office, because the post office employees are a bunch of crooks. The post office employees are a group of cheat person. And he wrote the letter signed by signing Lencho. Here we find the irony in the situation. What he had requested to God next time, that don't send me the rest amount through the mail, because the post office employees are a bunch of crooks who had helped Lencho. Actually, the postmaster, the post office employees had tried to help him, but Lencho had no faith in the postmaster and the post office employee. This is the irony in the situation. Irony in the situation is just opposite of what is expected. Now, he was very angry, and this time he thought that God must have sent the rest amount. What was the rest amount? 30 pesos. And what do you think? Did he find the rest amount 30 pesos? Yes, must, because the postmaster didn't want to shake the writer's faith, Lencho's faith in God. Once again, he must have tried to collect 30 pesos and he must have sent the rest amount to Lencho. That's all. Thanks.